What a last couple of weeks here. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened, but what a last couple of weeks for the Milan Cortina 2026 Winter Olympics. It ended with the Team USA hockey team winning gold over rivals Canada Sunday morning. I'm going to have you guys all my reactions coming up and just all my thoughts over pretty much the Olympic hockey tournament. All of that and so much more on today's episode of Inside the Zone with Mateo. Let's roll the intro and let's get it. That is right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Zone with Mateo here on YouTube. And boys, we got a great episode planned today. And welcome to Inside the Wild if you are watching via that, which is basically our hockey / Minnesota Wild podcast here within the full podcast, which is Inside the Zone with Mateo. But we have our own little mini podcasts within the big podcast. So Inside the Wild here. I believe this is episode 18 of season 2. Apologize if it isn't that episode, but it should be this. We should be ready to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. And without further ado, let's just get to Mateo's show batting order here, presented by To Be Determined. If you wish to sponsor this segment, which I use across the whole channel, which is basically a show lineup of what we're doing in every show, let me know. Send me an email. Send me a DM on Twitter, or email is probably also a great way to do that, and we could get you set up for that. 3 things on the show batting order today. We got an Olympic hockey recap. Biggest takeaways from mostly like the final between USA and Canada. A quick preview because this has been floating around the entire internet of what the hockey teams for USA and Canada could look like next Winter Olympics in the 2030 Winter Olympics. So that's what we're also going to do here on the show. So without further ado, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And let's get into it. Here we go. So, what do we want to start with? We want to start off with a little bit of a recap here. So this is what the bracket looked like. Wow. What are we doing? There we go. This is what the bracket looked like going into the middle rounds, if you will. So everybody played group stage for the first couple games, and then everybody got reseeded based off of, I believe, goal differential. So Canada was 1, USA was 2, Slovakia, I believe, was 3, Finland was 4, 5 was Switzerland, 6 was Germany, Sweden was 7, surprising, Czechia was 8, 9 was Denmark, 10 was Latvia, 11 was France, and 12 was the country host, the Olympic hosts, Italy. The qualifier rounds went by pretty quickly. Switzerland beat Italy 3-0. Germany beat France 5-1. Sweden beat Latvia 5-1. We did have a close game between Czechia and Denmark. That was a 3-2 victory for the Czechians. I'm sorry, I don't really know how you call them, but Czechia won that game 3-2. So that was pretty interesting for sure. And I mean, the first couple games, of the group stage and of the qualifying round was really fun. Everybody was just kind of getting into the mood for international hockey, but we knew we had to wait until really the next round, the quarterfinal rounds, for some good hockey and some intense hockey. Sure, we had it, a couple interesting games in the qualifiers and just the group stage, but we were waiting for some good games. Oh man, did we get some good games, including a 2-1 victory for the U.S. over Sweden. That was in overtime. We can talk about that in a little bit if we want. Sure, Slovakia beat Germany 6-2. That wasn't really, wasn't that much of a competition. But then you still had the Finland over Switzerland. That was 3-2. That was close. And then you also had the overtime winner for Canada, 4-3 over Czechia. And so for some of those games here, let me there we go. Those were on Wednesday, February 18th. So that was in exactly a week ago from tomorrow. So yeah, Czechia and Canada. That game-winning goal was Mitch Marner. That was that whole controversial too many men on the ice call. You can find it on social media. And then Finland, Lankinen had that overtime winner. And then to cap it off, we had 3 overtime games on Wednesday, February 18th. Here is what I'm looking at on NHL.com. You can do NHL.com forward slash schedule / 2026 -02 -18. And then that's where you can find all these scores. You had Connor Hellebuyck and Quinn Hughes leading the USA to a come from behind. Well, actually, not really come from behind, but an overtime winning game. It was amazing. A great goal by Quinn Hughes, obviously part of your Minnesota Wild. So that, it meant a little bit more to the Wild fans here in US, but still, USA got the win. Some really good games. I don't remember if Crosby went out this game or if it was the other game. Let's see. Sidney Crosby, he missed 2 games. So, yeah, I think he went out in that Czechia game. And so, unfortunately, missed then the remainder of the Olympics. And we don't know, the severity of the injury. I don't remember if he got placed on, like, injured reserve for the NHL, but maybe more details coming out in the upcoming days as the NHL season's resuming, I believe, tomorrow, February 25th. I can take a peek, though. I can take a peek. Why did I not look this up before this? Yeah, tomorrow, first 2 games start with the Flyers and the Capitals and the Sabres and the Devils. So you got Jack Hughes coming back right away from playing for Team USA. But yeah, those games were pretty cool to watch. I don't know why this website keeps... Dude, it's NHL.com too. It's like a good website. It's not like a finicky website. It's a good website. But I'm sorry, guys. It's changing screens and all that stuff. Oh, boy. We got to figure something out. Anyway, but the quarterfinal games were really good. You had tons and tons of exciting moments. As I mentioned, those 3 overtime games on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, if you will. And then there were no games Thursday because we had a day off. But then Friday, we got some more games because we got the semifinals, which, as you can see on your screen, if you're in my YouTube audience, if you're on Spotify, props to you. You can't see that, but USA got a pretty easy win over Slovakia, even though they were the 3 seed. After the group stage, they won 6-2. The U.S. won, putting themselves into the gold medal game. But we had a very interesting game between Canada and Finland, and we are going to actually pull this up. We're going to pull this game center up here. Take a little more in-depth look here because it's we're going a full recap, if you will. Obviously, Canada ended up winning this game, but the headline here is MacKinnon scores late. Canada tops Finland to advance to gold medal game. So you're wondering, well, what happened? Well, here's a look at the scoring. Mikko Rantanen, who actually ended up getting injured in this game, I believe, and Erik Haula started the scoring. It was 2-0 Finland by the middle of the second period, but then Sam Reinhart from Makar and McDavid score on the power play to make this 2-1. But then you're headed to almost halfway through the third period. Canada is still down by 1. Shea Theodore ties the game up at 2. The assists go to Wilson and Sanheim, excuse me. And then, nothing else happens until Nathan MacKinnon scores with 30 seconds left in the game from Connor McDavid and Macklin Celebrini, who had a fantastic Olympics in his first Olympics of his career. MacKinnon gets the win, gets the goal with 30 seconds left, placing Canada into the gold medal game that would take place 2 days later. But some key stats here. I mean, shots on goal. Canada had 39 shots. Finland only had 17. I think you have to point out some of this goaltending by Finland. Finland, UC Saros, 36 saves on 39 shots. Really good. Really, really good. He did get pulled, for 30 seconds when they emptied the net. So that's why they only say he only played 59 minutes and 30 seconds. But I mean, when you look at this team, sure, I think it had the fourth most NHLers, but you still had quite a few players that aren't in the NHL. But I mean, when you have guys like Aho, Rope Hintz, McCall Granlund, Kaapo Kakko, Teravainen, Rantanen, Jackie Haru, Heiskanen, Mikkola, Saros, obviously. Korpisalo is even a decent backup. It's still a lot of NHL talent. Obviously not as deep as Sweden, Canada, US, but really, I gotta say, you gotta show a lot of respect to Finland. They, almost knocked out probably one of the top two favorites. I believe Canada and US were probably the top two favorites to win the tournament, but they almost knocked them out. Unfortunately, Slovakia couldn't do that to earn some respect because they got whooped by the US. But anyway, shout out to Finland there. But I mean, you gotta say, you gotta mention this here. Canada, with the amount of stars that they had, you gotta. I mean, even for US, for the amount of stars Canada and US had, it feels like you had to have them end up in the finals. It just fits right in. Just makes the most sense because you have guys like Nathan MacKinnon, Mitch Marner, Connor McDavid, Macklin Celebrini, Brad Marchand, Mitch Marner. And the list can go on the defensive side. You got Cale Makar, and then sure the goaltending isn't the deepest, but Jordan Binnington had a pretty good Olympics for him. I do think USA is a bit deeper, but anyway, this was a really interesting game, and Finland maybe shocked Canadian fans just a little bit, got them a little scared, but anyway. It didn't matter. Finland then did show that they were the third best team, I guess, in the tournament by winning the bronze medal over Slovakia 6-1. That was actually the following day. So Slovakia and Finland actually had to play the next day, which we saw a lot of back-to-backs, which were very interesting. We'll see, how it affects some of these NHLers. They should be fine. They're professional athletes. But anyway, the main focus of the day now is going to be Canada and US. The US obviously winning that game 2-1 in overtime. It was an amazing game. Jack Hughes scoring the OT winner. And there's a lot of storylines here. I mean, Connor Hellebuyck, 41 of 42. He was excellent. I mean, Canada outshot the US 42-28. But, I mean, when you take a look here, we're going to take a look at the U.S. defense right now. We're going to highlight a bunch of other people, but the defense, you look at this, you look how deep they are. Brock Faber, Quinn Hughes, both from yours truly, the Minnesota Wild, Charlie McAvoy, Noah Hannafin, Zach Werenski, Jacob Slavin, Jacob Sanderson. They have a really deep defensive group. And then you also have Jake Ottinger and Connor Hellebuyck as your two goalies. We also saw Jeremy Swayman play a little bit. But Connor Hellebuyck, man, he wanted some redemption from the Four Nations. And, man, did he show up. He was saving everything. I mean, he played out of his mind. Out of his mind, he played so great. And I do think, he deserves a lot of credit. And there's the thing here, the controversial statement, controversial thing that we could talk about because Connor McDavid ended up winning the MVP, for the entire Olympics. I don't know how people feel about that. For me personally, I feel like Connor Hellebuyck should win MVP of the entire Olympics. I believe he was the gold medal game MVP, but I think you should even go a step further. I don't think McDavid should have won it. That's hot take. I respect McDavid a lot. Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, because I really do think Connor Hellebuyck should have won the Olympic MVP because he was just playing fantastic. He played fantastic throughout the entire competition. Sure, he has a lot of great defensemen, Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber, Charlie McAvoy, and company. But still, I mean, some of the saves he was making, they were out of his mind. And it was throughout the competition. He was really dialed in. And I really liked it. I really liked what I saw from him. Obviously, here I am in Minnesota, so I probably, I'm American. I'm not Canadian. I was kind of in the mix. Like I didn't totally know who to cheer for because I mean I like a lot of the U.S. players. I like a lot of the Canadian players. So I really just wanted good hockey, and we got good hockey. So I'm happy. But Jack Hughes getting that game-winning goal. I mean, shout out to the Hughes brothers, shout out to the Kachuk brothers, and then shout out to all the Minnesota. Sorry, sorry. Got a notification that I was just making sure wasn't anything deep, and it's not. It's not. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Shout out to the Kachucks. Shout out to the Hughes. Shout out to all your Minnesota Wild players. Matt Boldy. Yes, I know. I said it. Matt Boldy, who actually scored the other USA goal on Sunday in the first period. He ended up with one goal, and he had 3 shots. He was a +0, so he was on the ice when they did score that one goal from Cale Makar. But overall, he had a great tournament. Brock Faber had an absolutely amazing tournament. And then Quinn Hughes, obviously, we know had an amazing tournament. He had a point in almost every single game, I think. He did. Did he have a point in this one? Yes, he did. So he had a point in every single. Yeah, dude. It's just crazy. He had a point in every single game during the Olympics. I think that was a record. He's just insane. And it's just insane that Bill Guerin was able to trade for him for Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, Z Buyam, and a first-round pick. You gave up a lot of stuff for the future that you don't really need when you're trying to win right now. And you got one of the best players in the world because Quinn Hughes, man, oh man, was he playing great. And he marked his name in gold. He is going to be in U.S. history forever, as well as all of these other players. Matt Boldy, the Kachucks, Austin Matthews, Eichel, Trocheck, all of these guys. I could name them all. Should I? Let's do it. Kachuk, Eichel, Miller, Boldy, Kachuk, Trocheck, Larkin, Nelson, Matthews, Gensel, Thompson, Hughes, Keller, Werenski, Faber, Hanifin, McAvoy, Hughes, Slavin, Sanderson, Ottinger, Hellebuck, Swayman, and all of those coaches, and as well as the scratches, Kyle Connor, and you got Mike Sullivan as the coach, but then you also had some of the other coaches, John Hines, Tortella, and others. This USA team marked their names in history. They win gold at the 2026 Milano Cortina Olympics. From Italy there, and it was a great weekend. I really love the Olympics every time they come, whether it's the summer, whether it's the Olympic. And just think about it, in 2 years, we're going to get the basketball side of the world of USA versus who knows who it will be. Will it be USA? Will USA even make the finals? We have no idea. But I can't wait for Olympic basketball, Olympic soccer, and so much more summer Olympic sports. By the way, it's here. It's in LA. It's in Vancouver, and it's in Mexico. It's all on our continent, meaning we won't have to wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning to watch the gold medal game. So that's going to be really interesting. And it's crazy that the United States of America gets to host the Summer Olympics here, and we're actually hosting the World Cup as well coming up this summer. So a great thing here for for the United States of America. They win gold here. They beat Canada at their own sport. They now get to host the World Cup, and then they get to host the Summer Olympics. It's going to be a heck of a couple years for the United States of America for international sports and events like that. So amazing. Obviously, shout out to the U.S. Shout out to Canada. And it was a great game there. But I do want to highlight some of these missed chances from Canada. I saw this on it's X. Sorry, my bad. It's on X here, and it's just showing 4 of the main missed chances for Canada. And it says, what was Canada's biggest missed chance versus the USA? The first one, breakaway misses from McDavid and Celebrini, which also were due to some insane saves from Connor Hellebuck. Failing to score on a 5-on-3 power play with some of the best players in the world. Hellebuck's save on Davion Toews, which was completely insane. Or was it McKinnon whiffing an open net? Now, it's hard. It's hard to figure out what it is. However, I want to I want to find that save from Hellebuck. I think I had it. Did I find it? Yeah. I found it because it's insane. It's absolutely insane. So we're gonna go over here. ESPN had it in one of their articles. It was insane, and I feel like it deserves. Let's take a look at this save by Connor Hellebuck. I hope this is good for like visibility wise. But here's the Hellebuck save on Davion Taves because it's just insane. And now it doesn't load. Are you kidding? Yeah, so now it decides not to load. Really? Okay. Um it's just insane. It is incredible as the announcers were saying like I don't even know like that there's some puck luck right there, but I mean, I would want to see I don't know if I found a clip of Hellebuck talking about that. I don't know if he saw the puck or if he was just like putting it in trying to block something. But I mean, it's one heck of a save there. So I mean, that's when they're saying one of the missed chances could be. For me, like that's just insane puck luck and Hellebuck's being incredible. I would say that's not the biggest miss. Um, Breakaway misses from McDavid and Celebrini. I mean, yeah, the fact that you had two breakaways, that was insane. But again, Hellebuck was playing insanely well. And then kind of the same thing here. Not the same thing, but McKinnon whiffing on the open net. Every uh everybody has off days once in a while. And sure, I'm not gonna say, well, I personally think McKinnon should have definitely scored that. But everybody has off days once in a while. So that's like a normal thing to happen. Whiffing, right? So like once in a while it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen at some point. It doesn't happen very much for Nathan McKinnon, but it's gonna happen at some point. So sure, it's a big miss, but I wouldn't say it's the biggest. I would say failing to score on a 5-on-3 power play for over a minute is definitely, the biggest miss for Canada because you would have scored one goal. You would have been in the lead. It was not in overtime when you got that. It wouldn't have won the game necessarily, but you would have been in the lead. You would have forced the U.S. to score another goal, which, Binnington was playing pretty dang good as well. And in my opinion, I think if they would have scored on the 5-on-3 power play, I think Canada would have won that game. And I do think that has to be the biggest miss for Canada. But let me know, of course, your thoughts down below in the comments because I want to hear what you guys think is the biggest miss for Canada because there's a lot. There is a lot of things to unpack here. I could talk for hours, but I'm not. I do want to get to one more thing via Canada. As John Cooper said, on the 3-on-3 overtime, because it's 3-on-3 instead of 5-on-5, he says, quote, you take 4 players off the ice. Now, hockey's not hockey anymore. There's a reason overtime and shootouts are in play. It's all TV driven to end games, so it's not a long time. There's a reason why it's not in the Stanley Cup final or the playoffs. Where, I see that. I understand it. But sure, yeah, you take 4 players off the ice, right? 2 on each side, so now it's 3-on-3 with a goaltender. It's not necessarily the 5-on-5 hockey, right? It's a different type of hockey. Now, I'd say it is still hockey. It's just a different type of hockey where it's more, sure, it is TV driven. I'm not going to say that it's not. But when you have some of the best players in the world, people do want to see it. And, the players are making millions of dollars in the NHL. They should be able, I don't think they're going to be complaining. And I don't know why he's complaining about this. For me, I would like to see more 3-on-3. I love 3-on-3. Okay, I love 3-on-3 hockey. There's just something about it that is just so fun to watch, and it's different, right, than normal 5-on-5. When he says, that there's a reason why it's not in the Stanley Cup final or the playoffs, I'd say put it in the playoffs. I would love 3-on-3, at least in the early rounds of the playoffs. Okay, I'm not saying you have to put it in every single series because I do think people love the 5-on-5 overtime. But I'd say why not? Like I don't totally get his point. Like, yeah, I do get it in a way, but you're just complaining because you lost, bro. Like John Cooper, you does okay. Like PK Subban has said he doesn't have a problem with this. Stephen A. Smith is not a hockey mind, but he says he likes it, right? And for me, I get where y'all are coming from when you're saying, "Oh, we want it to be 5-on-5 overtime and no shootouts or whatever." Why not though? It's just fun. It's so much more fun, and it's faster. And I just think it's the perfect way to end a game. And I do want to shout out something here and suggest something for the except the gold medal game. When they went into overtime, it was 3-on-3, but it was 10 minutes, and then if it was still tied, it would have gone into a shootouts. The NHL needs to do that. 5-on-5, in my opinion, 3-on-3 overtime in the NHL, in my opinion, is too short with it only being 5 minutes. I like the 10-minute rule, and then you can go to a shootout. Because most people, I do agree here, do not want to see shootouts until it's necessary. I think there's a certain part of luck to it. Why not do 10-minute 3-on-3 overtimes? It's going to be more exciting, and I just think it's better. So, hey, there's a suggestion. Let me know if you guys like that as well. But overall, again, just let me know what you guys think in the comments for sure about these comments. I think John Cooper's just kind of, in a bad mood. Obviously, he lost the gold medal game. And I think if he would have won, I don't think he would have said this. And I think if Mike Sullivan would have lost, I don't think he would have said this. I think 3-on-3 is appreciated across the world, and I really like it. But yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting topic here. And I can't wait to see what the NHL does. If they do add, more time to the 3-on-3 overtime during their regular season. And, I think they're going to probably keep 5-on-5 in the playoffs. But, yeah, it's very interesting. I think there's one more thing I did save one more thing. Yeah, I saved one more thing here. I just wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts on this. 2026 Winter Olympic All-Star team. Macklin Celebrini, there's a surprise. He made it. So did Connor McDavid. Then Slavaski also made it. He played out of his mind for Slovakia. And then Cale Makar, Quinn Hughes, the top two defensemen in the world, in my opinion, are the defensemen. And then Connor Hellebuyck. Note that Canada has 3 of the 6, which is very interesting. It's very interesting that Canada ended up with 3 of the 6 all-star teams for the 2026 Winter Olympics. Slavaski, I do want to shout him out. This is the main reason I wanted to share this because he played amazing, and I can't wait to see what he does in Montreal the rest of the season because, of course, we got the playoff race coming up. There's 2 months left in the NHL season. Actually, less than that. There's like a month and a half left in the NHL season. Same thing with the NBA. It's going to be so fun. I love this time of year. There's so much more content getting to it. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss any more of my content. It's coming out every Tuesday, every Thursday, and maybe some more in between. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts, my biggest takeaways from the Olympics, from the Olympic final, the gold medal game. And then, so we got one more thing to do. One more thing to do here on the show. I've been seeing this all over, predicting the 2030 USA hockey team. Because, I'll probably do a full episode on this if I'm still doing the podcast, like, eventually later. I'm not going to do it now, but I wanted to see, I forgot who had it. It was just ESPN. Let's go. ESPN's the GOAT. ESPN's the GOAT, and I just think I wanted to see here because they give you the locks and then they give you strong candidates. And then what else? They also have question marks and if age is just a number. And then also I wanted to see the 2026 snubs. Very interesting here they add. And then the orientation class. So they give, and then the next wave. So they give you a lot of options here. So I want to go through them quickly. I think we're just going to go through USA. We're not going to go to Canada. We're just going to do USA here for now. Maybe we do another episode. If you want that episode of Canada and some other teams, let me know for sure. But here we go. So sorry, PK, we're going to skip your interview there. And we're going to start over here. Here, the locks are Jack Eichel, Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes, Dylan Larkin, Austin Matthews, Charlie McAvoy, Tate Thompson, the Kachucks, and Werenski. Very interesting group. Notice that they don't have any goalies as locks because, as I said, age is going to be a factor here in 2030. It's 4 years from now, where Hellebuyck's in his 30s already. No Faber, no Boldy. So, in general, I do think all of these are locks. Oh, and they do give you the name. However, interesting. Jack Eichel's going to be 33. Yeah, he'll probably still make it. Austin Matthews is going to be 32. They're all going to be in their early 30s. Jack Hughes will be 28. But other than that, yeah. I mean, this team is definitely going to be older. I think the Chucks are locks for sure. Tate Thompson, I would say, is probably a lock. Werenski is a good defenseman for sure. Dylan Larkin is probably that veteran that you need for sure. And then obviously the Hugheses are going to be there. So yeah, in general, I think that, yeah, pretty good. This is, by the way, my first time really looking at this. You can go watch this if you want, or read it on ESPN. It's on their NHL page. Strong candidates from 2026. Matt Boldy is going to be 31. Yeah, Brock Faber is going to be 27. That's crazy. Dude, and then in the next Olympics, he would be Boldy's age. Faber, I believe, is going to be in the next couple. I would give you a strong prediction that Brock Faber is going to be in the next couple USA hockey teams. He's going to be good, unless he takes a complete fall off, but I just don't see that happening. Jake Ottinger. Yeah, I would say Jake Ottinger at 31 years old is going to probably be there, unless there's somebody that comes out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Jake Sanderson also had a really good hockey season. He and Brock Faber are kind of these young defensemen that are going to be key for USA in coming years. And then the next little group of players is question marks for 2026. Yeah, I don't think Kyle Connor is going to make it. I don't think Noah Hannafin would make it in 4 years. Jeremy Swayman is, again, a really big question mark. Clayton Keller, I really like that as a big question mark as well, because he didn't totally do much. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he progresses as a player in the NHL, I think. So that's going to be interesting for sure. But Clayton Keller, I really like him as a player, but he's going to be 31 as well. Age is going to be a big factor into these Olympics because you got a lot of younger guys that I'm guessing they're going to mention here. If age is just a number here. So they're going to go all the old guys. Yeah, so Connor Hellebuyck's going to be 36 then. I just don't see that happening. Jake Gensel's going to be 35. I could see him as a fourth liner or a reserve. Seth Jones, yeah, no, he's going to be 35. JT Miller, 36. I just doubt it. Brock Nelson at 38. I really doubt it. He'll probably be retired by then. Jacob Slavin, kind of same thing at 35. And then Vincent Trocheck, he could be a fourth line guy, kind of with JT Miller maybe at 36 years old, but we'll see. I think, yeah, this team is going to be, very old if they keep some of these guys. I don't think Brock Nelson makes it at 38. Connor Hellebuyck, it's going to be depending on how mobile he is for sure. But yeah, very interesting for sure. Yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts for sure. The 2026 snubs. Cole Caulfield, yeah, I do think he'll probably make it. I do think he'll make it or he'll be in the conversations. Jason Robertson is a very interesting name that's, been brought up. Alex Tuck, I think since he make it this year, he'll be 33 in 4 years from now. I don't think he'll do it. Adam Fox. Yeah, he's kind of had an off couple of years. Very interesting. I'm really interested to see what they do, especially with Adam Fox. Alex DeBrincat, I'm not totally sure as well. Lane Hudson, I do think is going. I think he should be in the conversation with what's his name, Brock Faber. I think Brock Faber and Lane Hudson could be this new kind of duo of young defensemen once like Makar and Hughes kind of retire or start to digress for sure. But yeah, 2026 snubs. I wouldn't say Lane Hudson's a snub. He's 22 years old. He's really young, guys. He's really young. So chill out on that. And then finally, the younger guys. Luke Hughes. Yeah. Luke Hughes, I think we do see him come eventually. Matthew Nye is kind of same thing. Logan Cooley's very interesting. He is really young as well. Alex Vlasic, I don't know. It's I think a lot of these guys have to develop well for them to be it. But I think if I were to pick one or two guys, I would say Hughes and Nyes are probably out of those six, right? Yeah, six. Two out of those six that I would probably heavily consider. I wanted to see if there's any other ones. The next wave, yeah, Matty Beniers, Zeeb Bouillon. Yeah, Zeeb is from US. Yeah, I think Zeeb will probably make it for sure. I wonder though if he plays for like Italy or because I think he has dual citizenship, so maybe he'll play for Italy there. He'll be 24. That's just crazy. Yeah, Dustin Wolf. Dustin Wolf's going to be very interesting. Jimmy Snuggerud, yeah. Spencer Knight, yeah. There's a lot of young up and comers. Then there's the Ryan McKenna. Oh wait, I think McKenna might be Canadian. Who's going to probably be the number one overall pick in the draft. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names here that could be on this team. It's gonna be really interesting to see a lot. I think a lot of it has to do with how they progress for sure. But yeah, I think without further ado, that's gonna be it for today's episode. That hit everything on the show batting order. So yeah, I did not fix the coming up next here. But coming up, kind of the rest of the week here, we will get an episode coming out on Thursday. I forgot what I'm gonna do on Thursday, but I'll be out on Thursday. So something will come out on Thursday. Don't know what it's gonna be. Weekly Rebuild will come out on Saturday. It's not the Minnesota Twins. Twins was last week. I'm actually gonna start filming that like right now as soon as I get off of this. We're going to film that new rebuild coming out on Saturdays. Remember, you can vote for those starting every Friday, and those go till about Tuesday. And then I film them, and then they get released every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern every Saturday morning. New Kingdom competitors might come out on Sunday. I'm not quite sure. Carson Wentz was last week, so go ahead and check that one out. Again, episodes on Tuesday and Thursday from the sports podcast world. Then we got a rebuild on Saturday normally, Kingdom competitors normally on Sunday. Try to do daily shorts. If you have any ideas for any videos or want to come on the show, send me an email, send me a DM on X. And of course, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. And if you have any suggestions to make these podcasts better, let me know down in the comments down below. But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. On our road to 500 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys really did enjoy this. And don't forget to keep God first, because he is the most important thing in your lives. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.